What's up, SellerAmp Nation? This is Miles with SellerAmp, and in today's video, I'm going to be walking you through step-by-step a full Q4 merchant fulfilled guide, step-by-step, everything you need to know to be able to make as much money as possible with merch fulfilled this Q4. Let's get right into it. All right, let's talk through FBM beginner to expert in less than 10 minutes. So I'm gonna be going through the FBM opportunity, right? So what makes FBM a good opportunity this time of year, right? When does FBM season start? So when does it really become feasible to be able to make a lot of merchant fulfilled sales? Because obviously, you know, some of you guys have limiting beliefs around getting the buy box FBM, or maybe you've tried FBM in the future, and we wanna set you up with this video so that as good as possible, you're prepared to take full advantage of the FBM opportunity. Also, going to be walking you guys through step-by-step FBM shipping costs and what you can expect. So what you can expect to plug in for your FBM calculations with the SellerAmp profit calculator, right? So to calculate for FBM, you're gonna scroll down and toggle on the merchant field calculator away from FBA over to FBM, and then you're gonna add an FBM shipping cost that we're gonna tell you in this video. As well as we're gonna be going through handling time and shipping settings. So there's some little things you probably wanna tweak in your shipping settings that can help you get a lot more buy box share with FBM the closer we get to December, so you can start learning the FBM process and be really prepared to scale with it. Because FBM was absolutely crucial for my own scaling journey a couple years ago when I was just getting going. I was able to make over 50,000 bucks profit my first December. A good amount of that was FBM, and then last year I was able to make $80,000 profit total, and over half of that was just with FBM. Right there. We're gonna also be going over what products to FBM in terms of obviously some stuff you're not gonna be able to, and we're gonna talk through how you can go ahead and decipher that, as well as when to stop sending FBA inventory. So when it realistically makes sense to stop sending in FBA inventory, transfer mainly over to FBM, just based on that during December, FBA warehouse can get backed up. And the last thing we want is to have a bunch of items in stock and not be able to sell those, as well as merchant fulfilled shipping supplies. And then also just prior to getting into inside the December 2023 calendar, up right here, if you have a 9 to 5 and are looking for the best days to take off to be able to take most advantage of Q4, I'd recommend doing between the 5th and the 15th range, 5th and the 20th range. On the earlier the better, right? Because business is all about momentum, and the quicker we can see big sales and a lot of momentum coming, the better results you're gonna be able to get. So the best days to take off in terms of like a Monday to Friday would be like the 4th to the 8th, or like the 5th to the 12th in terms of like a 7-day period right there. So that's what I would keep in mind in terms of if you do have a 9 to 5 and are looking to have days off and take advantage of that to be able to take full advantage of Q4. Okay, so the FBM opportunity, right? So a lot of people think you can't get the buy box FBM, that FBA is the only way to do it, that you need that prime shipping badge to be able to make money selling on Amazon. That's couldn't be further from the truth, because FBM lets you have a better cash flow cycle, and with the lack of FBA competition in December, there's way more opportunity, right? Because FBM, you don't have to wait for something to check in, and in December, a lot of FBA warehouses will get backed up, products take longer to check in, and with FBM you get a much better cash flow cycle, because if you're doing retail arbitrage, you can go into your local Nike outlet and have that product listed that night and get feedback and learn a lot quicker, right? Because with an FBA purchase, you might buy a product from Walmart.com, it arrives in 4 days, and then you ship it into the Amazon warehouse. It's not going to be ready for a week or two minimum right there. So it's going to be it's going to take you a lot longer to actually be able to learn how good a purchase that was, when with FBM, you can test and iterate a lot quicker. So the name of the game the next couple months is we want to test as much stuff as possible and then be able to go deep on stuff, right? My own personal business and other people I've seen have explosive growth with this stuff, it's been by finding a few great ASINs and latching onto them straight to the moon, right? So being able to really scale them, find websites you can go heavy on, and the way you find that is through a lot of testing, and the way you do a lot of testing and get feedback quick is FBM. Right here, okay, when does FBM season actually start? So, in my opinion, a lot of people should be doing FBM year-round. Now, the vast majority of products you're not going to be able to FBM year-round. Luckily, you can easily see on SellerAmp if other people are listed on that FBM, so you can really be easy to tell if there's a bunch of FBM people listed, you're probably going to be able to make sales on that. And it costs you nothing to test stuff FBM now, so you can easily list for 48 hours to test, then FBA if need be, right? Because the nice thing is FBA and FBM costs are very similar, and so if something's good to FBM, it's probably good to FBA as well, and you can test really easily right there. So the best data is going to be your anecdotal data. right there. And the closer we get to December, the more and more items become FBM friendly due to increased volume and decreased competition, because in December, volume is through the roof and competition's really low because a lot of people are lazy and don't want to FBM products. Okay, FBM shipping costs. This is really, really important. So this is what you're gonna put in for the FBM cost on SellerAmp when you toggle between FBA and FBM on the calculator right there, which if you scroll down in the Chrome extension or app is what you'll see, right? A good rule of thumb is items that are below 1 pound are typically gonna go USPS. Items that are above 1 pound are typically going to go UPS. I would recommend screenshotting this criteria and bookmarking it. Eventually you'll be able to memorize it, but just 0 to 3 ounces, $3.50, $4.50. 4 to 7 ounces is right in the $4.50, $5.50 range. 8 to 11, $5 to $6.50. And then 12 to 15 ounces, $5.50 to $6.50, maybe like $6.75. It just depends on where it's going. For example, if you're in Pennsylvania, like where I'm from, and you're shipping to California, it's gonna be a little bit more expensive. But if you're shipping to New Jersey, it's gonna be a little bit cheaper right there. And then above 1 to 3 pounds is gonna be like 9 to 13 via UPS ground. For the most part, occasionally you're gonna get charged a lot for shipping. If you ever do see that on Amazon, you can also buy via pirate ship, but the vast majority of the time you should be buying shipping through Amazon right here. But make sure you get this stuff memorized because it's gonna make sourcing a lot easier. And then you can find the dimensions of a product on the SellerAmp Chrome extension by scrolling over the box right at the top, and then you'll see the dimensions of it. Right there, okay. Handling time and shipping settings. So this is pretty important, and it's probably the most slept on way to actually get the buy box FBM. So if you can, move your shipping handling time within your Seller Central account to 0 days. This is gonna make your delivery date a lot more attractive to buyers, and it's gonna push you more in the buy box algorithm. Typically you do like a 2 p.m. cutoff. I think you can customize it too right there. But if you can do this, and if it means going to the post office extra, it's incredibly worth it because it lets you start to get a lot of proof of concept really quick. But then during December, stuff sells quick enough and it's really easy to get the buy box FBM that you're not really gonna need to be in 0 day handling time. And in fact, I wouldn't really wish 0 day handling time on your worst enemy for December with how many items you guys should be selling right here. So if you can for the next couple months, do 0 day handling time just because that's incredibly helpful for getting buy box share FBM during non-peak months right here. And then your shipping templates as well. We'd recommend charging free shipping for FBM standard orders, but then charge a lot for expedited, next day, etc., just to justify the extra work that it takes shipping that stuff out right there. And then in terms of what products to actually FBM, so the closer we get to December, the closer we get to 100% of products being FBM friendly, right? And it costs nothing to test something FBM for 48 hours right here. And you can also check what other sellers are doing, which is ultimately the way, along with your own anecdotal data, that you're gonna validate. We also recommend using an automated repricing tool. Once you have like 10 plus ASINs, I think it makes a lot of sense too. Right there, there's a bunch of good ones out there. Right there, but anything that makes sense FBA typically makes sense FBM too, and this December is going to really remove your limited lease around being able to get the buy box FBM as well as ultimately just being able to take advantage of this stuff as much as possible. Right here, and then when to stop sending in FBA inventory. I don't really recommend sending in stuff past like December 1st as you risk it not being available for peak days, which are incredibly important, and we ideally want to be FBM on as much stuff as possible so we're flexible and can replenish stuff a lot quicker. And if you do something really good, retail arbitrage, you can potentially restock it that day if you go back to the store, or you can restock it in the next couple days with online arbitrage as well, and you just don't get that type of power with mainly FBA right here. And then FBM shipping supplies, so don't overthink this one, guys. You can get tons of good options at Walmart, Staples, Home Depot, anywhere you can get shipping supplies, right? 9x12 and 12x15 poly mailers from Amazon in like a gray color are typically best. Maybe some 4x8 bubble mailers if you sell a lot of beauty stuff as well. And then 15x12x10 boxes from Walmart typically cover almost everything or something along those lines from Staples or Home Depot, Lowe's. Uline.com is another good option. And then you can also get your free 4x6 labels from UPS, which if you just search like UPS free shipping supplies, you'll be able to find right there. And then you can email them to get bulk as well. So don't overthink the shipping stuff, guys. Like the big levers are gonna be product research, which is why we mainly talk about that on our channel right here. Okay, thank you guys for watching. If you guys have questions about this stuff, please let me know in the comments. I'll be replying to all of them right there. We don't want anyone left behind this December. We want everyone to make the money we know you can make right here. We believe in you guys and want to help you guys as much as possible. So thanks for watching, and let me know any questions in the comments.